Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Olga here, the Yes Supply Asia Pacific trainer, and I am joined by Ali, one of our incredible students who has recently graduated from the Yes Supply method. And she's here to talk to us a little bit about her journey and what she experienced with us and what life is looking like now. Ali, I appreciate you so much for being here. Welcome.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for inviting me.
My absolute pleasure. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, introduce yourself as how you feel fit.
So I'm Allie. I am from Southern California originally. I live in Phoenix, Arizona now. And oh my gosh, I started my online business when I had four kids that were all born within 5 years. They were super little. Like my baby was still nursing. He was like a year old. And my family was like in extreme, like for the US, underneath the poverty line for sure. We were having a really hard time, and I really wanted to create financial freedom. So I started my online business from my blog. I was like blogging for years. And then just kind of dove in and was creating courses to help women simplify their space, their homes, got into like decluttering, feng shui. That led into like schedule and kind of lifestyle. And then I started noticing all these patterns in myself and people, the clients and students in my courses, that had a lot to do with psychology. And I had always been fascinated by that. And when I did go to college, I went for psychology, but I didn't finish my degree or anything. It was just always what I was fascinated by. And it just kept coming up. And so I was like really wanting to understand people's minds and why they were in the same patterns over and over again. And I would give these strategies and they wouldn't be able to implement it like I was. But then I would see other people eating really healthy and, having these habits that I couldn't have. And they were having those ones so easy. So I started just self-study and was like obsessed with reading books on the subconscious mind and why we are the way we are and the how much DNA affects us and versus experiences and just all these things. And I actually signed up for the Yes Supply method in I think it was 2018, and I never did my live cohort. I was having like extreme anxiety at the time. I couldn't leave the house. My mental health was in such a bad state. I think I signed up because I wanted to help myself, but I just wasn't there yet. And then in 2024, I reached out to the team and was like, I bought something so long ago. I don't remember what it was, but it's my time to do something with this. Because everything was just self-study, self-study. And I really wanted to solidify that I'm certified. I understand things. Like I've studied this at a level that just feels like more validating for
Mm.
me. And they reached back out and they're like, "Yep, you are all signed up. Just pay this little difference and you can start this summer." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So yeah, that led me to Yes Supply, and now I feel like I had no idea how surface the years of reading books and studying was. I mean, the depth that we got into in the program was so helpful for me. So yeah, it's just really elevated me as a coach and really created a stronger foundation for my brand.
That is such a compliment, especially because you have read so much and studied so much. So that is a really beautiful compliment. Thank you. I didn't realize that you'd signed up before and then you decided to do something with it. What do you think was that little calling that you had just before you signed up? What kind of pushed you over the line to come join us live?
Well, in my business, I had been going through a pivot. Like I was no longer just talking about, the strategy and the home and the practical logical. Like my messaging had gone so much deeper, and I was kind of just reiterating what I was learning through reading and working with different coaches and I just was like, you know what? I really want to launch something big. I really want to start taking private clients. And I didn't feel good for me. I didn't feel good doing that without going even deeper. And this came to mind. I like woke up in the middle of the night one night and was just thinking about what I wanted. And this idea just popped in like, remember when you did that? So it was funny. I hadn't come across any of Reese's content recently or anything. It just dropped in and I always follow those little hints. And
Well,
here we
funny
are.
how the subconscious mind was looking for the answer for you, right?
My reticular activating system was filtering in the next step.
That's how it works. So, what was your, so you're at the point where you wanted to go deeper with your clients. You got the little download, hey, you need to do this. How did it go? What's your general overview?
I'm the kind of person that, like, once I know I'm going to do something, I want to do it immediately. Like, if I have a really good idea that I feel good about, it's launched within the week. Like, I will not wait. So I was so excited because the cohort that I joined, they were like, oh, there's a couple. This one's really soon. So you're probably not going to want to do that one, but there's other ones. And I was like, nope, I'm doing the summer one. It was like really fast. It was super soon. I was so excited. I couldn't wait. And then the first call we had, it was like I had no idea what to expect. I didn't research anything. I had already, paid about half before and then paid the difference. And so I didn't research. I was just like, well, I already have this, so it just makes sense. I'm doing this no matter if it's terrible or amazing. So here we go. And I'd kind of like become acquaintances with Reese. She's been on my podcast and we'd
Yeah,
crossed paths before. So I knew it was gonna be valuable in some way.
yeah,
And I also believe, especially like for everyone listening, I really believe that you are the ROI in situations. If you go into something and expect it to serve you and give you something, it's probably not going to. Like you have to decide to do something with it. So I knew going in, like even if this isn't what I think, I'm going to turn this into $1 million idea and a ton of impact for people. Like I'm going to make this really good.
yeah.
And I got there with you and I don't know, like it felt so peaceful and it was just so much more warm and friendly and grounded than I expected, I guess. While at the same time, it was incredibly professional and serious and grounding for me. Like it was just such a positive experience from day one. I got out of my chair after our first class and cried happy tears in my kitchen to my fiance. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is the first step of something huge. It was just such a good feeling.
Oh, Ellie, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh, okay. That's really, really beautiful. I love that. Okay, so let me recompose myself. Why did you want to become?
Sorry.
No, it's just I wasn't expecting that. I really appreciate it. It's really sweet. What made you want to become a coach? What made you really want to go even deeper with people?
Well, my business was just kind of an interesting story. So it was like one to many. That was the setup that I had from the beginning because my first product that really took off was an online course. So you're recording on your own and then you kind of put it out there and people trickle in. And then I had a really big boom in my business in 2016 and with because of a viral post I wrote. And that really brought a bunch of people. So I was seeing that there was all of these people in my program, but I wasn't seeing them and I wasn't really connecting with them. So I had like a Facebook group that I started so we could all talk and stuff, but it just wasn't the same. And I'm a chronic creator. I can't stop having ideas. So I kept making course after course after program. And even the ones that were group, it wasn't quite I just felt like something was missing for me. And then somebody reached out to me and asked if I would do a one-on-one coaching with her. And I kind of made up a package, made up a price and sent it to her and she did it. And it changed me. It was so amazing to be able to see her face, talk to her like this. And also keep in mind like this was 2016, 17. So all of this online business stuff was very new. And I just felt like the whole world was open to me and there were so many options and I could like literally sit with someone in another country and hold space for her while she cried and give her advice and help her. And so that was when I knew I wanted to do that, but I pulled back and didn't do it very much because I don't know, I feel like when we went through our values in the beginning of the program, a really big one for me is authenticity. So it's very difficult for me if people are perceiving me as inauthentic. It's something I'm always working on. But for me, like I needed to know that I authentically am at a level where I am truly a really, really good, gifted coach. And I didn't feel like I was there. So I knew what I wanted to charge to make it worth my time. And I wanted to study until I felt like I was there.
Oh,
Um, so that was kind of my journey. And then yeah, I that's probably why I signed up for Yes Apply originally, because that was right around that time.
cool.
But yeah, I wasn't really ready for that until more recently.
Mm, goodness. And boy, were you ready. All right. So, what is it about coaching that makes you so passionate?
Um, Again, I really think one of the biggest things for me personally is the one-on-one connection after so much one to many. It's just a whole different level. I really appreciate having that connection with people. I have a client right now who's come to me, as you always say, she came to me for something. I don't even remember what it was because that is not what we've been working on. It's always something deeper. And she's like losing weight for the first time. Her central nervous system is regulating. She's feeling so much safer and calmer. We're rewiring. She's losing weight for the first time in decades. Like that is seeing it is different than getting a DM on Instagram. Like, I just wanted to tell you, those are beautiful and I love them, but literally seeing her face shape change and her smiling and her happy tears after decades of like hormonal imbalance. And I get that because that's been my experience. And
Mhm.
like literally reprogramming your mind and her cells responding to that is so different on Zoom. And I'm actually going to get to meet her when she comes to Arizona next month. So that, like that. And I think also as a woman that's struggled with female friendships as a young girl, as a young woman, having this container to be able to give something and have people receive it and give back to me and then form a friendship based on that has been, I mean, it has really been huge. I've stayed in contact with a lot of my clients once they're kind of done working with me and they're always updating me, oh, I'm having another baby now. Like I feel so much lighter. I'm able to take this on or I'm starting a business. And that is why I'm passionate about it, helping people do their next thing and making it easier.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say that too. Like, as you know, I'm a coach as well. And I just think it's such a gift to be able to
Yeah.
show someone that you're not broken. These are the programs of your mind. Let's change
Hmm.
it. And you literally get to change everything, like hand on heart. Let's get on this journey
Yep.
together. I think that's really,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think that's really beautiful. So you said you signed up for the Yes Supply method like a while ago. Do you at all remember what it was about the Yes Supply method specifically that attracted you to it?
I was new to manifestation
Hmm.
and I come from a very religious, like oppressively religious background where any type of understanding of self is dangerous. You don't do that. You don't trust yourself. Definitely not. And how I could go on, I won't, but another maybe I'll do an episode on my show on the
Ooh.
hazards of teaching that to girls to
Mm.
not listen to your intuition. But that's what I was taught. You don't have an intuition. You don't have any of that. You shouldn't listen to that. You can't trust yourself. Don't listen to your heart. That's ridiculous. That's Disney stuff. You don't do that. All of this. So I was nervous and I came across a video of Reese and she was so warm and it didn't feel scary. She made it feel safe. And so I kind of binged her. I mean, this was a long time ago, so it was like her beginning content,
Amazing.
even. um, and yeah, she warmed me up to it. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to manifest being confident like her on camera. And eventually I'm going to meet her and we're going to collaborate. And we did. I mean, I think we did an episode in like 2019, 2020. It was a long time ago. And so that happened pretty quickly. And I still hadn't done our program, but I was interviewing her. So like I didn't even do the thing yet. And I was still like, she empowered me to manifest and tap into the power that I really have. So it was that. It was her energy and her warmth. And she's magnetic and understanding, like learning from her. I knew I wanted to learn from her more because
Mhm.
learning from her on YouTube was like changing my life. And I'm like, well, geez, if this is just the free stuff, my gosh.
Yeah, imagine getting in deeper. And I have to admit that was one of my things too. Like I've probably said this a few times during our cohort, but I feel like I stalked the Yes Supply method and Reese for a while before I knew, yeah,
Yeah.
this is right for me. I knew it was right. Is that kind of how you felt like it kind of just all clicked?
Yeah, and then once I realized, oh, she has a program and it's to get me certified. It's not just for me to learn the thing, it's for me to do something with it as well. I was like, oh yes, heck yes, and I just did it. And like I said, I wasn't even ready, but I had it.
Yeah.
So it was like I made payments for 4 years without realizing it.
Glad you finally joined.
Yeah, I did technically join, but sometimes you just need to take action and you don't know where it's going to lead.
Yeah, well, I mean, just after you joined, the world went a little bit wild, so I completely understand.
Right. Yeah.
What was your favorite part about the Yes Supply method?
My favorite technique or like the program?
Mm, overall, let's go with overall.
Okay. Overall, can I say two?
Yeah, of
Because
course you can.
the relationships that came out of it with the other girls, I did not expect that. I came in guarded and then immediately just was like, oh, I don't need this. Like we all were just so warm and friendly with each other right away. We still chat. I'm sure you see our chat going.
I do.
That was really unexpected and not at all why I signed up. And then the other thing is the confidence that it gave me. Not only because we're doing the techniques on each other, so I don't think people understand. I truly, truly, from the bottom of my soul, would have paid 5 times more just for the transition that it gave me from practicing on each other. That's not even counting what it's done for my business, what it will continue to do for my business, and all of those things. I think that's why everyone signs up, but what you end up with is a rewired brain. And I really feel like my brain got so many layers taken off of it that were not helpful and is like closer and closer and closer to my highest self. And I mean, it changed my relationship with food, my relationship with alcohol, my relationship with myself, with my body, with my business, with my man, and we weren't even specifically working on those things. It's like symptoms, because all of these other problems are symptomatic. So when you work on the root, the symptoms go away. So that was really, really huge. I was very surprised by the changes in me.
Yeah. And I've said this a lot too. That's my favorite part of being a trainer. When I see the students come in on the welcome call and everyone's got kind of like those first date but nerves, everyone's a little bit nervous, a little bit shy. And I say to
Yeah.
you, take a look at your face now, and then let's come back to this moment at the end of the
Hmm.
course. And I know how difficult it is for people to truly understand the transformation that you will get from day one to when you finish. And I know it's kind of it feels maybe a little bit sales gimmicky. I'm not sure what people think,
Hmm.
but as I watch the students progress and transform, and then on that graduation call, everyone is looking at themselves in that Zoom camera and they're like, holy crap, that's a whole new person. Did you get that
Yeah.
much? Yeah.
Yeah, that after you had us do that, because I forgot we took a picture on day one. I mean, I sent the first day and last day to my partner and to my daughter and my mom, and everybody was like, because I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize. I mean, I look like a different person. The light, if it's like so cheesy to say, but the light in my eyes
Yeah.
is like I mean, just even just like the color and like it's funny because in the first day had like my makeup on, I was all ready to go, and on the last day I had no makeup on, and like I was like just literally sitting. We were like having wine and hanging out and graduating, Like I'm just chilling and I look so much lighter and better and happier and more fulfilled in the second photo. It was, and that I'm glad you had us do that. I'm super grateful for that because it literally physically shows you are not the same person. You came in to like get certified and be more legit or whatever it is you think about yourself going through this, but you actually go through it at absolute metamorphosis.
And you get both. You get your own beautiful butterfly effect, and then you also get certified in some really incredible tools. I love that.
Mhm.
Is
And
there
it's good because you want, after you go through something like that, what do you want to do? You want to tell everybody about it and share it. And now it's like you can, and it's, you do have that more concrete, I went through something, I achieved something, I can help you.
I love that. I love that so much. Is there a technique that you use daily, regularly that you found really shifts your energy?
I've always loved EFT.
And
And I think it's really, I like the way that Yes Supply teaches it. I have never done it that way before, like with the wrists. And there's just a couple of different, like the order of things is a bit different. I like it so much better. So that's always been something like I use that every single day. I don't think it would be a great idea for everyone around me if I didn't do it every day. Like I literally every day. But I will say one technique that I did not want to learn and was so surprised is it is now my favorite. If anything was going to be more of an EFT, it would be hypnotherapy. I am so surprised. Like I saw it on there and I was like, oh my gosh, like I am not going to tell anyone that I can do hypnosis. Like what the heck? This is I have to do it. It's part of it. Like whatever. I kind of saw it as like I just have to get through this, and then it's like another thing on like a list that I could put if I want to. But I was literally like, I'm gonna be so embarrassed. Like that's so dumb. I don't know why. Maybe just the subliminal messaging around hypnosis in media, but we got to it, and I was like. Oh, here we go. Like I had the videos on double speed and I was just like, I gotta get through this. And I literally went back and slowed them down and like went back through it. I cannot believe the changes in myself, specifically physical changes, the what I've done hypnosis on physical changes. I cannot believe it. I'm so quick to use it on clients when I know it's a good fit. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna make you a custom hypnosis. I go straight into that interview to get those questions done for them. It is my favorite. I can't say enough good things about it. It's so funny that I was like really irritated, and then it's now like my favorite thing.
okay, I feel like I'm looking in the mirror because I had both of those things. So you knew about EFT before you started the Yes Supply method. I'd never heard of EFT when I did the Yes Supply method, and I was looking at EFT thinking, that's ridiculous. I'm not tapping him on my head. I'm not doing hypnosis. I'm not clucking like a chicken. And these two
Yeah.
things have literally changed everything for me. I use EFT every day. If you saw my hypnosis library, you'd be thinking, Olga, do you do anything else? Um,
Yeah.
life changing. Absolutely life changing.
Yeah.
You get to like what I guess what I love about the most is that you have the power inside of you to do everything, change everything. And
Hmm.
EFT tells you how to raise your frequency, release dense emotions, and reprogram your brain in like 5 minutes. And
Yep.
hypnosis have like a really deep body rest, reprogram your brain, visualize yourself getting your goals, and you see the changes out there. And it's like, what was I thinking? Like, how embarrassing that I had these previous.
I feel so like I literally am like, oh my gosh, like what else is there in this world that I've just been like, oh, I don't care about that. And it's literally life changing. I now, what I will do is when I want something and I decide like, okay, this is something that's important to me. I want to make sure this happens. I will do the interview on myself
Yeah,
and record a hypnosis for me.
yeah.
Especially if Carrie and I practice on each other a lot still, we kind of are just each other's official coaches. And if she can't do it, I will literally just make one for myself
Mhm.
and put it in and I listen to that. That's how I go to sleep. I used to fall asleep watching Netflix. Now I fall asleep listening to hypnosis. I am so obsessed and blessed that that is something that I have in my pocket now. It is life changing.
So you obviously had like a successful business before you joined the Yes Supply method. How did though the Yes Supply help you tweak your yes life, like become an even more successful coach, presence, podcaster, mum, partner,
Mhm.
friend. How do you feel like it helped you design or up-level your yes life?
Yes. In my personal life, it's been huge with my relationships. I am so much more self-aware, which everybody can, kind of imagine somebody in their life who's just very unself-aware. It's really hard to be close to that person. It's really hard. It's just makes all relationships more difficult. And I never want to be that person. And I just feel so grateful for the level of self-awareness this gave me. I notice my patterns. I notice limiting beliefs. I notice in the language of what I say, the language of what people I care about say, I can learn more about them. And, I never want to be that person that's like, you're subconscious. It like I don't want to coach in my personal life, but I have the awareness and I can have empathy. I can be aware for them. I can kind of see like, okay, I think that's a pain point for my partner. I want to make sure I give him extra love in that area of his life. Like it's drastically changed the way I mother. My daughter is 15 right now, and that relationship is really special and really close. And that this has helped her with her social anxiety. It's brought us closer together. I feel like the active listening is a skill I absolutely did not have. And now I do. So when I'm listening to her, problems or making myself available in my body language and the mirroring, I do this with my son who's a little bit more closed up and he's not closed up anymore. Like he every night now comes in my room and wants to talk to me about his day, or he'll just sit and ask if he can watch me work. And I'm like, this is the kid that, how was your day, bud? Fine.
Yeah.
Now he's like, Mom, have you ever, like, whatever is going on in his day? I mean, really, like, I could cry thinking about that one because that was a pain point for me, and it's literally gone. And I know it's because I shifted in the way I'm speaking, the language I use toward him, and the way I listen. And then business. The biggest change for me was my confidence. I feel so confident with what I've learned and what I know. This catapulted me into like I feel like I'm always a learner, but now I'm like a studier. I always want to be in school of some kind. Like this has just given me such a passion for like I don't know how else to say it, but like I guess more official learning rather than just reading books.
That's nice.
Um, I'm obsessed. I feel like so confident. I feel so alive. Feel like my life just got started, even though I've done so much. I just feel so awake from this. And yeah, my website. I should have taken screenshots before and after Yes Apply with my website because it was very timid and very like this is what I do. And like this is what I don't do. Now I'm like, this is who I am. This is how I can help you. This is who I cannot help. This is who I want to help and who I just am not for. This is exactly why I'm here on earth. This is exactly what I'm certified in. This is exactly how I can help you, the kind of people I can help. Like it is just so much more grounded. I keep saying that word, but that's what Yes Supply feels like. It feels like you get grounded in who you really are because you're reprogramming yourself and then you're learning how to help other people at the root, which nobody teaches us how to do. This should be common knowledge in school.
I say that
It's
all the time.
my kids, like, I'm so grateful. Like, moms, if you have kids or if you want to have kids, even going through Yes Apply just for that, like the level of parenting, having my son who's on the spectrum have a meltdown and be able to do EFT and then go calmly communicate his feelings to his brother. I wouldn't have known to do that. It's so much more powerful than just go take a time out. Let's go sit. Let's take a deep breath. Like, no, I literally have the tools to help them with anything and everything through their lives. Like, it's so beautiful.
It really is a gift, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. There's just so much beauty in what you've just shared. Thank you, Ellie. What's the one goal that you've achieved that you're most proud of?
Doubling my membership.
Yeah, hey, congratulations.
Because I kind of forget the timing and everything, but there was a point where you had said, if you guys have something that if you all have something you'd want to manifest, think about that and let's work on that. We're going to like go through the manifestation process and hypnosis and all these things. And that was my thing because it was a part of my business pivot and it was going so slowly. So I had a $99 a month membership and more than doubled the members in it through neuroenergetic encoding. And I purposely, because I'm a little skeptical, I purposely did not do anything different. I learned like a whole new marketing thing at the same time. And I was like, I'm not going to do anything different except encode this future date and do this. And I'm going to do the 5-step manifestation process. And that's it. And I also started really, really late. I literally had like less than a month before the launch. And I was
Right.
like, shoot, like I was gonna do a whole 6 month thing and I kind of forgot. And I just barely did it. And I think that's a part of it. I was happily and healthily detached and just set the intention and then moved on. And I more than met my goal. That that means that you don't earn with your effort, you earn with your energy. And that means we can relax.
And it also
That's game changing.
means you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
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 So, Ellie, that would have been like such an incredible what the F moment for you. Like, did you realize that you've literally got all the power within you? Like, honestly.
Yeah, I did. And for a while, there were some things that I was like, well, I've wanted this and this hasn't happened. And I've wanted this, but this hasn't happened. And there was a couple of things like that. And even in that, like I have to say this piece because I think it's really important. Even in that, it's like I can feel the energy of that thing coming to me. And I can feel that there are things that I needed to understand before I could receive that thing coming into my life. I can literally see there was a goal that I had that I was hoping to have by about 2 weeks ago, and it didn't quite come through. But something else, a huge idea that's going to bring me like 5 times more than the original goal I had, came through because of the failure. So even in that, like my big picture is so much brighter. The way I view things, my perspective on things, I'm just so much more relaxed and again, grounded and just like trust the process. And I just know I always get what I want. And I really am in control of my reality. You can change literally anything by changing the energy you bring to that thing. And the way you change your energy for real is by reprogramming your mind around it. And we can do that within minutes. Like it's wild.
hmm So, what do you believe is your biggest mindset shift to get you to the point where you now know in your heart, I get to have whatever I want. I can achieve success. What's been your biggest mindset shift?
Um, I guess I don't know if this answers the question how you wanted, but this is what's coming up. I guess it's kind of like through the method and going through the course, I saw so much proof of how I was creating my reality the entire time, except it sucked. And so then when I just tweaked what I was creating, and I would like play games with the universe and test little things and like see if this was real. And I just continuously saw over and over again, like I have been creating this the entire time. I've been perpetuating these cycles with money. I've been making these cycles with friends. Everything is mirroring me. And the work really is only for us to get into us and dig in and shift. And then everything else shifts. And everyone in the manifestation world says that, but it didn't really resonate until I literally saw like it's science. It's right there. A plus B equals C, period. It just simplified it, I guess.
Yep.
And that changed my perspective on what had been happening the whole time. Because, we always have these moments where we're crying, like, why does this keep happening to me? Why does this friends always betray me? Men always leave me, money always, whatever. You're literally making it in some way, it's
hmm
serving you. So you have to shift how you want things to go and find in what way is this giving you something that you keep coming back to it and shift that. And then everything change. Like it's actually so simple.
Yep. Whatever you think, feel, and believe is an instruction to the subconscious mind to create that external reality. It's science, right? But that's what
Yeah.
I love what you just said. And yes, that was the perfect answer, exactly what I was looking for. But it's always going to be the perfect answer if it comes from you. But that's the thing that most people, I think the biggest mindset shift that most people get is I get to take my power back from all that, from the friend, from the partner, from the money, from even the health. I get to take it all back, change it
Yep.
here, and then I get to see it out there. Like that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. It also really displaces fear because anything that happens, it's like I'll go back to the example I just gave with my that business goal that I had, and I was like, oh, it's in, no problem. I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make this goal and it'll be fine. And then I didn't. Like there was no fear or panic. It was like, huh, interesting. What's here for me then? And immediately, like within an hour, I was cooking and I got an idea. And this is the way it needs to shift. And it's going to serve me better and serve my members better. So it was like, I just know and trust like there really isn't much place for fear anymore because I'm in charge. I hold my power. Everyone else gets to keep theirs. I don't control things anymore in a way of like trying to control everyone else around me and gripping tightly. I just am so much more relaxed and like, well, if that's what I want, then that's what I get. It's just a matter of getting clarity on exactly how I want it or letting the universe decide for me. But either way, I get to receive it.
It sounds like you've gone from a little bit of FOMO to full trust and receiving mode.
Yeah. And this everything is just so easy here.
I love
I mean, you start to feel like pain for people that aren't there, but that's why we do this work. So we're
it.
good.
Yeah, we get to share it. So what does your newest version of yes look like? What's your next level yes look like for you? What goals are you going for next?
Um, gosh, so many and they're all connected, but mainly abundance and experiences. One
Mm.
of the big limiting beliefs that I've worked through is I can't even say worked through. I don't know if you feel like that, but that term doesn't fit anymore. I like shift better because it worked through just sounds like
Hard
I don't
work.
know. And also the word block, like I don't
Yeah,
think there's blocks. It's just you just need to wiggle out of it.
yeah,
It's
yeah, that's
easier
how I
now.
feel. Yeah. I,
Yeah. But one of the bigger ones that had me stuck for a while was from my from my lineage. My dad is a Cuban immigrant, and it was this belief that it has to be hard. You have to work so hard. Money is so hard to make. And then when you make it, it's just so easy for it to go. And everything is so expensive. And so that was the pattern. And so I looked back and I'm like, man, I love working. I wake up at 4 in the morning every day, and by 5, I am at my desk, happy, working, and I love my job, but I want to continue to love it. And my old pattern was working myself into the ground to where I had like no dopamine in my week. Like all I did was work, and it had to be hard. And I was perpetuating that cycle. And I noticed that I never really spent my money on experiences for me, only for other people. So now I'm like really just focused on pleasure and fun and enjoyment and manifesting travel and experiences for me and my family and just really sinking into the membership growing to a point where it's just recurring, it's easy, that money's always there, and I get to go and enjoy it and experience the work that I did put in.
yeah. And you get to create incredible impact at the same time. I love it. I
Yeah.
really love how you said it's not even working through. You just got to wiggle out of it. That was really cute. But I think that was one of, and I said this quite a bit, kind of to drill it home during the cohort. Like you get to learn that all these things that were holding you back are not even yours. So you get to return to sender, right? Like, and I think that's very empowering. Like, especially for me, I teach my clients how to identify their limiting beliefs, but to kind of just say, oh, I see another one. That's not mine. I'm sending that back. And I get to choose how I think, feel, and believe and show up in the world. Like, you get to choose. And I think that's
Yes. And in every, like when the first day, I was so curious what I was going to learn about things that were heavy on me. Like I wanted to learn, like, we're seeking lightness, we're seeking relief, but we don't realize that you can feel relief right now before the problem is resolved. You get to feel relief right now. You get to feel wealthy right now. You get to feel abundant right now before anything actually shows up. And that's what makes it show up. So it's even like, I'm just not worried about things anymore. Things that used to just keep me up at night. Like, what if that happens again? What if they misunderstand me? And we had talked about how there was people they had done like a smear campaign about me, and caused me a lot of anxiety. I literally do not think about it anymore. There was even like a
Oh,
couple of little things that would have previously triggered me, people just being upset about whatever. When you're online, sometimes that just happens. And I just was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. And I just walk, move on, keep doing my thing. Like I am such a different person. I'm so much lighter. And I really believe that when you are walking around lighter like that, that's contagious. And you spread that to other people. You're
great.
literally making the world a lighter, better place just by your energy. That's not even counting all the techniques you can do for people and all the actual coaching work you're doing for people with this experience.
The flow on effect, money, family, health, people, business. It's like it's really difficult to kind of package it all up, isn't it? And help somebody else understand just how impactful it can be. But you've done a really beautiful job of sharing that today. What would you tell someone who's thinking about following their calling and getting to coaching? What what would you tell them?
I would personally, oh my gosh, I feel like if you even have a slight feeling that maybe you would want to coach other people, there are a lot of people that do not have that at all. They don't have that desire. It's not in the cards for them. It's not their calling. So if you even think maybe, you definitely should. You definitely have it, and it's only going to come forth more and get stronger once you start peeling back the layers of self-doubt and limits, and blocks or whatever we want to call them, that have just had you stuck in self-doubt and stuck in fear. Once you start working through these shifts, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you're going to feel so much clearer. So if right now, without knowing any of this and doing any of this work, you think maybe you want to do that, absolutely. Like it's only going to get louder and clearer as you go.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. What would you tell someone who's sitting on the fence of joining the Yes Supply method?
Oh, I'm so glad this is what I did first. I don't really, I mean, I'm going to do the master level next. I know that for sure next year.
I love that.
Um, yeah, definitely. But I was like, I can't wait that long. I'm gonna have to I want to find something else. I want to
I
find
want it
something else.
now.
Yeah, I'm so in love with learning. But I am so glad this was my first experience. I have had some I could perceive these experiences as negative with like masterminds and other things I've learned from. And this was just divine. Like it was so positive. There is nothing but warmth and a welcoming energy and support. The response time when I would oh my gosh, I lost my quiz, like where I was at my quiz, like what do I do? Like in such a fast response time, so sweet, so there to help. Like I feel like a lot of times big programs they kind of drop you once you pay. This was so the opposite experience. I felt so supported, so loved, so welcomed, so celebrated by you. And by Yes Supply as a whole. That's why I'm like, oh, of course I want to do the master certification next. I of course want to keep going. And I have told so many people about Yes Supply, and I put on my website literally my certificate, like this is where I went. Yes, I highly recommend. Here's the link, because unfortunately, there are a lot of things out there that are just maybe not as authentic and not as in integrity and not warm, and they're not really caring. And it is more of just like a money game. And this is not that. This is I don't think I could recommend anything more than this, and maybe matcha. Those are my two loves.
It's a science factor though. Come on.
Yeah. But really, like this has just been, I have nothing negative to say. If I did, I wouldn't be here.
Ali, it was honestly like every student experience is really unique when they come into the program. But I do have to admit, your light was so beautiful within our cohort. And I think our cohort, they're all very unique and they're all very special, but there was something about the connections within this cohort space that made the learning experience incredible. And as a trainer, getting to observe that, getting to witness that, getting to hold space for that, like it was just other level. So
Yeah.
it's like it's different for like someone from your supply to talk about how incredible the certification is, but when a student, a graduate who's come on and gone through it shares their experiences with it, it's different. It's received different. So I'm very, very grateful that you are here. Do you have any final words when you zoom out of the whole experience and look at it overall? What do you think?
Um, I think that my biggest, oh my gosh, what I want to say is those of you that maybe are more head decision makers, like that's fine. Do your research. Think if you've come so far as to like watch these videos, and especially at this point in this video, like you already know. Like you trust your gut, just do the thing. And remember, like I really do think that my perspective on what I bring to things that I invest in is huge. It makes me successful. You decide what the ROI is going to be out of something like this. Don't put it all on Yes Supply. Like they are going to knock it out of the park and make it amazing, but take responsibility and decide that you're going to make this everything you want to and show up and have an open mind because like hypnotherapy, you might end up like, oh my gosh, like this just changed my life and I was not excited at all. All right. And I think also the techniques, like you really can't, they're hard to explain. They're hard to capture until you're in the program practicing and learning. So you just trust. If you have a gut feeling, go with that. And then you can figure out the head part once you're in there.
Yeah, thank you, Ellie. That means a lot. I'm so happy you had a beautiful experience with me and us and for sharing a little bit about your journey. So where can people find you? Where can we connect with you on socials, in public?
Yes. Oh, thank you. I always just send everyone to Instagram. That's my favorite place to hang out. I put it here so everyone can see
Yeah,
it,
Ellie
but
underscore, that's
it's
me.
Ali underscore that's me. Send me a DM. I'd love to connect. And then yeah, my website is there as well, alicasaza.com. If you spell it anywhere close, you'll find me. But yeah, just get in there and see how I can support you. If I can answer a question for you about Yes Supply or anything else, like I am here. This is what I love to do in the world. So let me know.
Thank you, my love. I appreciate you. So, for anybody that is interested in finding out a little bit more about the Yes Supply method, all the links will be dropped somewhere in a description box attached to this video. So, go ahead and go check out our website. There'll probably be a link there where you can speak to one of our team members, figure out how we can tailor this program to you and your goals and your dreams. We really hope that as many people can come through this program as possible because I honestly, like we said earlier, I do believe this needs to be taught at school. It has changed every single person that it's touched. I think it's a beautiful gift. Reese has packaged up something really special. So we hope to see you all in there. Ali, again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day and joining me and sharing so much of yourself and your heart. I see you and I appreciate you. And thank you, everybody. Take care, everyone.